Welcome back. So we do these shows or these videos every time we go see a show. I'm Danger. That's Monster. Yeah. All right. So we do these videos every time we go see a show, and I went to a show. The last couple we did was Monster going to a show. The show was an experience, the whole thing. All right.
Yeah.
Go on.
So actually, we did skip one because I did go see Dweezil Zappa.
You did.
Talk about that.
Do you want to tell us anything about Zappa Plays Zappa?
It was incredible. They are incredible musicians.
I'm sure you thought it was. So
no, it was legitimately. But yeah, there's not much to say. Now, the show you went to is a little more applicable to our show.
Right.
So please tell us this lineup that you went and saw.
Okay. So months ago, we bought tickets to go see Dayseeker, which we've talked about Dayseeker on the show. We did an episode on their album Sleep Talk, which Monster was not the biggest fan of. I love that album. But
I was actually going to bring that up. I know they were the headliner and they were kind of who you were going to see.
Right.
And I was kind of like,
yeah, which like we have, like we talked about a lot of for different bands, the live show is different from the album. And their live show is incredible. But we'll get to Dayseeker. We will. Okay. All right. So let's start off with, we went to go see them at the Ritz in the Ritz in Raleigh.
Cool venue.
It is a cool venue. And so we got a hotel room at the North Hills Hilton, which
cool hotel.
No.
I've never been.
No. It actually is probably about 10 years past being giving, like, just the maintenance guys giving it some attention. Like,
love that.
We picked it because it was like less than a mile from the venue, and we went with the lady's sister and her boyfriend and some other friends of ours, and they were staying there. So we were like, okay, sure, why not? I wish I had just walk? No, we drove because it's not a very walkable area at all. So, all right, so get to the hotel, check in, and what pissed me off from the start, and now this is coming from somebody who was a hotel person in his former life, managed hotels and all. They had 4 desks. The middle 2 were open, and there were other people that worked the desks just walking around. And it was like, come on. And there were long lines. Like, there was some event happening. They should have had all the desks open. There was some event happening called, like, the group was IOF, which OIF sounds like the sound you... Oif. Yeah. So anyway, we check in, we get settled, and then we decide before we want to go to the show that we want to go get some food. We're all hungry. And what's the one thing that everybody can agree on in a group? Tacos. Everybody loves tacos. So we decided to search tacos near us or tacos near me. And so what came up was a restaurant called La Buena Vida.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was one of those things like, this is between us and the venue. Let's go there. And so we went. And walking into it, I was walking up to it, and I was in a Thursday shirt that we got at when we saw Thursday, and some ripped up jeans and boots. And I was walking up to him going, I'm probably underdressed to go in here. This place looks fancy. Oh. Like there was like a couple Porsches, a Maserati parked outside, and it was like, I don't get this, but okay, cool. We're going here to eat. And
you so walked into like a Mexican cartel meeting.
We walked in and it was the strangest decor I've ever seen, but the coolest looking restaurant I've ever seen in my life. It was like this. It was like if you were to graffiti like a fancy restaurant, like there was like weird graffiti and all over the restaurant, but it was all very tastefully done and really well done artwork all over the place. And it was like, this is really cool. But the longer we were there, the more we started to watch things, and the more we were convinced that this restaurant was a front for something. Like everybody, like all the servers were dressed really well, like dressed like, nice looking servers.
But the important question is, did you get the tacos?
Oh yeah, no, we got, everybody at the table got something different. The lady and I both got, birria tacos because we both love birria tacos, and they were phenomenal. They were some of the best damn birria tacos I've ever had.
Right?
Yeah. It's like, it's a corn tortilla
we doing? What is
I,
this?
I don't I don't know what that motion is, but
That's not how you dip a taco.
if you're dipping a taco like that, you're dipping wrong. So
What is this?
that is not a hand motion that we do on the
Why does
show.
the taco keep getting bigger?
For some reason, your taco is getting longer. I don't understand your taco, but
Hot
anyway.
dog.
So this, this restaurant, we realized at a certain hour, they turned on the black lights that we started noticing were in chandeliers that were not currently on. The speakers that were right beside our table were very good speakers, but not for dinner time and conversation. It was way too loud, and I was sitting there looking at the lady going, I feel like an old man because I want to tell them to turn the music down because I just want to hear what's happening across the table from me. But in front of me, I had, or behind her on the wall were, I don't know, like 4 50-inch TVs put together into this giant display that was just showing pictures of mountains and boats and stuff. And it was very high quality pictures and really cool. But then I noticed there were these planes. And at first I thought that they were like dolphins or something, like hanging up, like the way they were angled. It was kind of weird. I couldn't see them. Like we had to like look at them for a bit to figure out what they were. But they were these black planes that had like paint splattered all over them. And then we realized they were flights. Like we saw them pull one down and fill it up with like shots and like fly it over to a table. And it was like a cause for celebration there. But then we started noticing that there were people that were going in and out of the kitchen that were dressed nice, but not the same as the servers. And there was this one lady that was going in and out, and she looked like, I don't know, a really well-dressed 50s gangster.
Okay, let me explain. There was a poker game being played in a back room behind the kitchen that was, stakes were probably somebody's fingers.
You're probably not wrong about that.
So,
but
now, what I will say, though, is I'm starting to worry about your concert because you have spent a solid 20 minutes telling me about a Mexican restaurant on this video about a concert you went
It's only been 7, but okay.
It feels longer.
It does. All right. So anyway, we eat our tacos, we eat our food, and we leave. We go to the venue. And so we, park, we make our way in, and the whole time we're going, what did we, like, where were we are we safe? Are our lives in danger?
Also, eating Mexican food before a rock show is a choice. It's a dangerous game you're playing.
It is. And I had no trouble. I was really okay. I promise you.
Because we had enchiladas for dinner tonight, and all I had to do was sit in here and talk to you. And it's still 50-50 if I'm going to make it.
All right, fair. I'll move faster so you can make it. I know outside that door is the bathroom, so you're not too far away.
I had enchiladas. So
yeah, your long enchiladas. So anyway, so we go to the show and stand around for a while, and unlike the show that we went to, the ticket. The time on the ticket was the correct time.
Oh, that's nice. I like it when they do that.
That was actually the Doors time. Like, we didn't know if it was the Doors or the show, but it was the Doors. And so, like, not the band The Doors, but so the doors opened. Right. And we got there. Everything was fine. And I we stood around for a little bit. I ordered a beer and I pointed at the smaller can and they handed me the big can, where it's warm by the time you get to the bottom of it, but it's fine, whatever. So the first band comes on. The first band was Kingdom of Giants.
Okay, I've never heard of this band.
And you probably never will, because this band was really, 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 really good at being really bad.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I was surprised. It was like the first song when they first came on, it was like, this isn't bad. Maybe I could get into this. But then the second song started and I thought, are they playing the first song over again? And then the third song started and I thought, are they playing the first song again? Like every song sounded the same.
Now, when you say really good at being bad, my first thought is those like noisy bands that are kind of dissonant, like trying to be a little off-putting, but there's also some joy in that. Like I wrestled a bear once, or every time I die. Are we getting that, or are we something different?
Okay, so this was a band that kind of had they. It's like they were doing like the emo metalcore thing
Okay.
with an industrial metal backing track that just wasn't loud enough to really be impactful to the sound.
Yeah, sometimes when you're the opener, you run the risk of not getting the best sound mix.
But this, it was like the sound they were going for though, and it's like the singer just was off in a lot of ways. Like he just his voice just wasn't quite in it, and it's almost like they all were there, and just couldn't quite commit to going all the way to the sound they wanted to go for.
Interesting. Well, I'll definitely, you're not giving them the highest recommendation, but I'll still give them a listen out of curiosity.
Everybody I was with, including some of the people that were around me that I was not with, all said, huh.
And being in a band that has been lucky enough to open for some bigger tours and bigger national bands and stuff, were they on the tour, or were they just the local band that happened to sneak onto the bill? Do you know?
They were on the tour. And here's the part that really, like, I don't know, I want to say worried me, but kind of made me go, how are you still at this point? So during Dayseeker's set, they actually said that they went on their first national tour with Kingdom of Giants.
Okay. Well, so real quick, little side note, the Ritz, you had mentioned that. I was going to mention some of the bands I have seen there. I've seen 311. I saw Kesha, and I've also saw that Kings of the Game tour, which was POD was the headliner and Linkin Park was the first band, and then Project A6 had PE. And then a couple years later, when Linkin Park was playing the Coliseum, POD was one of their openers, almost like, doing each other favors. So
Right.
I actually kind of like to see that. That's kind of a neat thing. So even if Kingdom of Giants and Dayseeker are kind of on different paths now, it's cool that they're like throwing each other a bone, I guess.
Relationally, yes, it's cool. But the fact that they are still like the opener
Yeah.
this many years later, it kind of, I feel like it should show the band themselves, like, maybe we're not doing this.
Well,
Maybe we're not doing it
as
the way we want to.
the way you're talking about it, it sounds like opener is where they belong, if not the band in the parking lot that's playing as you walk into the venue.
Right. And like, you kind of half expect them to be the guys like handing out CDs still to the people walking in, kind of a thing. Yes. Yeah. So, all right. So after Kingdom of Giants came Catch Your Breath. And
I've never heard of these guys either.
Okay. So I was pleasantly surprised by Catch Your Breath. I actually really liked Catch Your Breath. In fact, I was going to get a Catch Your Breath shirt, but nobody was there to work the merch table when I went. And so it was like, I'm not coming back because it was very crowded. I mean, it was at capacity. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah. So it was, fine, whatever. But Catch Your Breath, the best way I can describe them is if the home team was heavier and partied a little bit less.
You had me at heavier, but then you lost me at party less.
Well, no,
so
it's
I'm on the fence.
Right. No, what I heard was fantastic. I really enjoyed their set. And they were positive, I mean, just the band name, Catch Your Breath, like that's telling you like it's a little bit more uplifting, and they were great. I really enjoyed them.
I'll have to check them out. From the name, I was getting a vibe more like Stray from the Path or Stick to Your Guns or 4 Years Strong. Like I was expecting more of like that hardcore kind of thing, but it sounds like to me this is a little more of that like post-hardcore, like almost dancey stuff, sort of.
So yeah, all right. So heavier home team with less dance. I mean, it's
the longer you talk about it, the less I'm into it, but I'm still going to check it out.
The longer you talk, I'm less into you. I don't know what you want me to say here.
That's funny because that's a common trend amongst most of the people I know.
Yeah. So no, but Catch Your Breath was great. I actually really really enjoyed their set. Again, I wanted to get a shirt, but nobody was there when they were the merch table when I was at the merch table. So yeah, Catch Your Breath. I have nothing bad to say about their set. It was like they came out with a purpose to entertain, and like they had like positive fun banter between songs. It was like they put on a good show. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. So, and
Now, next,
I don't really have a lot to say about Catch Your Breath because it was just a good solid set, and I don't know a lot about them. So then after Catch Your Breath, go on.
I'm going to assume the next band you were a pretty big fan of because
yes, Alpha Wolf. I had
Alpha.
Yeah, I had seen Alpha Wolf several times before. They were always with other people that I wanted to see, or I saw them twice at Blue Ridge, and it was kind of like the first time it was kind of like, okay, Alpha Wolf, I've heard the name, whatever, didn't really pay much attention, and the second time I saw them, I was at the stage on purpose, and I thoroughly enjoyed their set. Now, Alpha Wolf is nothing like any of the other bands that were there. They are much heavier.
Yeah, so I was gonna say I am familiar with Alpha Wolf. They're not a band that I've ever really like dove into, but they have a couple of songs. I've seen a couple of videos on YouTube. They like butt up right against that new. Like they flirt with a little bit of like rap metal every once in a while.
They had like a hip hop type song during their set.
Yeah. Like they have just like a slight little bit of like swagger to it that I can get behind for sure.
They were a lot of fun live, and I got to laughing during their set because the singer, he's a very heavy singer, screams a lot. And
I thought you meant he was like a fat guy.
No, he's a little guy, but he's a little guy. They're from
heavier. Doesn't matter.
I got you. They're from Melbourne, Australia, and so when he would talk between sets, I would forget that he was from Australia before he started talking, and then he would start talking like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. So anyway, but I got to laughing because like he would, throw the middle finger up to the crowd, yell obscenities at the crowd, and then be like, all right, take care of each other, and he'd be like, all right, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a wall of death at a Dayseeker show, but we're going to do a wall of death here, and I want you to tear each other's faces off, but if you fall down, pick each other up.
Good. That's the way it should be.
Right. Get angry positive. I don't know. But Alpha Wolf was a lot of fun. Highly recommend seeing Alpha Wolf if you can. I mean, they're great. So,
I have a feeling that like what I've heard, I liked. I do like the videos. They did a video just recently that's like real gory, had like a horror movie theme in a high school, and I remember the name of the song off the top of my head, but I remember I watched that video like 4 times in one day because it was like super cool.
It's fun, yeah.
And then Dayseeker.
Well, hold on. Before we get to Dayseeker, so after Alpha Wolf, like we kind of were in a position. Now, me being a tall fella, I don't have a hard time seeing at shows.
Yeah, you're great at concerts. Everybody loves it. You're there.
Right. But the thing about it is concert etiquette. We all should have concert etiquette, and more people should follow concert etiquette. And part of concert etiquette to me is what you wear to shows. I don't think that if you go to a concert, you wear the shirt of the band you're going to see. If you go into a festival, wear a band shirt. I don't care.
I'm of two minds. If you're going to see a band, like for example, when I went to see 311 a couple months ago, they've been around so long. They've done so many tours and so many, merch collections and stuff. It's almost like cool to wear your 311 stuff because it's kind of like conversation starters.
Okay.
And I also like when you go to a show like you just went to with 4 or 5 bands. Yes, there might be a hierarchy and a headliner or whatever, but if you're a big fan of one of the openers, sometimes it's cool to wear like the opening band shirt to like show support there. But yeah, if I'm going to go see Dayseeker, I'm not going to wear a Dayseeker shirt. Like I get that.
Now, another part of concert etiquette that I have, and it's a personal thing, being a man of higher stature, I don't know, whatever, a tall fella. Okay, so when we're finding a place to watch a show. Now the lady is not a tall person. I think she's just 5'6", and
Yep.
so I have to be aware of her, and I am aware of her at shows. I can't tell you how many times, like, if we're in a place, I'll actually get down at her level and see like, what's your view. Okay.
Is this a good spot? Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
And I'll ask her 50 times, and she gets sick of me saying, "Can you see here? Can you see her? Can you
I
see?"
think it's not that you keep asking her, but it's the fact that you rest your arm on the top of her head. Like, that's the disrespectful part.
You call disrespectful, I call comfortable.
That's the shit you do to me when we go to concerts together.
Yeah. So when the music starts, I won't move in front of people. The place that I pick is where I pick. And if you happen to pick behind me before the band starts, that's your own damn fault. Part of my concert etiquette is I will not step in front of people while the band has started. So, with that being said, between Alpha Wolf and Dayseeker, I went to the bathroom. And so when I was coming back in to our group of people, I was just kind of doing trying to slide through and just tapping people.
Uh-huh.
And I went to tap this one girl, and she turned right as I went to tap, and I tapped her boob. And I was like, "I accidentally violated you, ma'am. I am sorry." And I just moved right past. And it was like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I felt very uncomfortable in this.
Sure. Pretend like you don't hear and just keep walking.
Right. No, but it was like, both of us were very obviously aware of what happened. Like, from her perspective, I probably would just go in to hit her boob. And it was like, this guy just came by, hit my boob, and left. I don't know what happened here.
And the worst part is, because you're 7'3", everybody can see your head bobbing across
right
to the crowd.
Complete and total accident that I violated this woman, but yeah.
Rock show, and you said it was like capacity, so I mean, you're gonna be bumping up against each
right. And there was this one girl. It was actually during Dayseeker's set. Like, she kept bumping me and stuff, and every time she'd be like, I'm sorry," and then like when Dayseeker was done, I would turn to her. I was like, no, after it was during Alpha Wolf, and after they were done, she was like, "I'm really sorry." I was like, "Stop apologizing to me. Just stop. We're in here. We're all together. It's not a big deal. You're going to bump into me. I'm going to bump into you." What she wasn't aware of is that during Dayseeker's set, the tacos that I ate kicked in, and I was trying not to, but a fart just fell out. And,
oh my God.
And during a quiet part of a song, I heard her go, "Ugh."
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's like that Sleep Token video that went viral, where it was like one of those really soft singing and piano. Like, oh man, you were the guy.
I was the guy, but I don't feel like it was loud, but it was too loud in there to hear. So anyway, Dayseeker starts. And okay, so first I do want to say that they actually I appreciated this, because usually in a venue, it's just like a backdrop with the band's name on it. They actually had a video screen behind them. And so, yeah. And they had these lights on the side, but they were like these infinity mirrors where the lights would go on forever inside of it, which played into their whole motif. And it was cool. But the screen that was behind them, I was trying to figure out if it was their screen and they traveled with it, because there was so much of the video that was happening that was like their lyrics popping up on the screen. And sometimes they weren't right in time with what he was doing, but he was also, I was like, wouldn't expect it to, because he's performing and this is a pre-programmed thing. So, but it was all very geometric shapes moving and stuff. A lot of it looked like an old Trapper Keeper, like in motion. And not like the Trapper Keeper was the thing that was moving, but it was like the shapes on the Trapper Keeper.
Just like massive folders and book bags just floating around.
It was just like then we just saw like an 8th grader's homework fly across the screen, and
God. It was all C's and D's, and you're like really disappointed. And,
I wasn't even mad. I was just disappointed. So
chances are that they do travel with that, because I mean, it's been a couple years since I've been to the Ritz, but they never had any kind of display like that for any of the artists I've ever seen there.
So the times in the past, they didn't have that then either. Yeah. And I can't even remember who I saw before, but it's been years since I'd been there. But the thing about it is, I just saw a video of Dayseeker performing, and I was curious, and they didn't have that screen behind them. So I don't know if where they were was just not big enough to have it, or what. So I'm not
Yeah,
sure. But the
it's
like for all the opening bands, like it had like basic graphics for them, like like
yeah,
lights moving or whatever. Like Alpha Wolf, it was like the outline of their name, which was graffitied on the screen. Like the
yeah.
outline had a light going around it, sort of thing.
When I was in Red Letter Rising, we played this festival outside at a like a little amphitheater in Charleston, South Carolina, and they had something similar. They had like a big LCD screen that or LED, whatever,
Yeah,
in the background that basically you could, if you had a laptop, you could like get a graphic to go up there. So we had the name of the band and just like some little like flame stuff moving around. Very basic, very generic, but it was just something to have because we had the screen,
right,
know?
right. So okay, so Dayseeker set. I have said before in the beginning of this, and I've said before to you, like their live set is a lot different. It's a lot heavier, and it
Yeah.
was. It was. I, as a fan of Dayseeker, I have nothing bad to say about them live. I enjoyed them. He does a lot of talking between songs and talking about what the songs are about. But I did think about you at one point during the show because there was one point where he he goes, "Hey guys, do you mind if we play a happy song right quick?" And they played a song that wasn't sad, but
And that was very nice of him to ask permission because if you're there for a Dayseeker show, you might not want a happy song. You
right,
might want to be miserable.
but he didn't even wait for an answer before they started. He just
Well,
went right into it. Yeah, it was
oh well,
it was
that
nice,
would
but it was rude.
that would probably been my favorite song.
Yeah. Now, actually, there was a good portion of their set that I think you would have really dug, especially like the newer stuff, because the newer stuff is not so like synth heavy and yeah, and the guitar player was on point for it. Little drum solo at one point that was okay. The first half was not great, but then the last half was, and they ended up covering. And I meant to grab this before we started recording. They did cover a an Evanescence song, and they did a really cool cover of it.
Dang.
It's
Okay.
the one like "Fight away all of your fears, cry away all of your tears."
Oh well.
You know what I'm
Okay. They
talking
would.
about?
Yeah. Isn't that Immortal? Isn't that the
Yeah,
one that's just like piano and her singing?
right. But it was actually him playing an acoustic guitar for it, and then their electric guitar player was playing, and so it's like the sound of both of them, and it was a really cool cover of it. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
So,
That's
but
kind of
anyway,
neat.
yeah. So they played their set, of course, longest set of the night, and I think their encore was Sleep Talk, which there was a cool version of it. It was a big heavier version of it than I have ever seen them do, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I think I owe it to you to see This Wildlife and Dayseeker live.
Yes.
I think I need to see those two. And in return, you need to see Head PE and Edema. That
Okay.
that should be the trade. Like at some point, I need you to go with me to see them and the other way around.
I'll take that deal. I will. I will happily go see Head PE and Edema and see this fun time that you say it is.
We will convert one another.
Yep. So anyway, so that was the Dayseeker show. That was a great time, but I learned something very valuable at this show.
What's that?
I need a chair. I need a chair. Like I can't stand on a concrete floor like I used to, and I will probably do it again and probably have these same words to say again. And fine, it is whatever. But my back was screaming at the end of that one.
You know what? You know what? I
Huh.
don't care. I'm going to show up to the rock show wearing Hokas. I don't care. At this point, I am more worried about my feet comfort than I am about looking cool to show.
I actually was talking about in the car on the way home. I think I'm just going to go buy some New Balances, and I
I've
mean,
got a pair of those too.
I don't really like my old balance wasn't bad, but I need new balances.